Chapter 10, Distribution, Managing Fulfillment Operations. Let's take a look at the role of distribution operations in supply chain management. As production and consumption are not perfectly synchronized, transportation of individual units is too costly. To overcome such issues, distribution operations, namely distribution centers, warehouses, cross-docks, and retail stores, are established within the supply chain. These inventory handling, storage, and processing facilities help supply chains create time and place utility. The role of these facilities include the following: balancing supply and demand, protecting against uncertainty, allowing quantity purchase discounts, supporting production requirements, fulfilling omni-channel demand, and promoting transportation economies. Now let's consider distribution facility functionality. Distribution facilities can provide numerous services depending on the requirements of the supply chain. In traditional distribution operations, 4 primary functions are carried out. Number 1, accumulation. Number 2, sortation. Number 3, allocation. And number 4, assortment. Accumulation involves the receipt of goods from a variety of sources. Sortation focuses on assembling like products together for storage in the distribution facility or for transfer to customers. Allocation function focuses on matching available inventory to customer orders for an SKU. Assortment involves the assembly of customer orders for multiple SKUs held in the distribution facility. Accumulation involves the receipt of goods from a variety of sources. The distribution center serves as a collection point for product coming from multiple origins and provides required transfer, storage, or processing services. The accumulation function allows organizations to consolidate orders and shipments for production and fulfillment processes. As the figure demonstrates, with accumulation there are fewer deliveries to schedule and manage. Also, significant transportation cost savings are achieved through larger, more cost-efficient deliveries. Sortation, as we said, focuses on assembling like products together for storage in the distribution facility, processing, or transfer to customers. During the receiving process, goods are segmented according to their key characteristics: production lot number, stock keeping unit or SKU number, case pack size, expiration date, etc., and prepared for safe storage in the facility or immediate distribution. Proper sortation is essential for the effective management of inventory and fulfillment of customer orders. Allocation focuses on matching available inventory to customer orders for an SKU. The order is compared to inventory levels and available units are retrieved from storage according to the quantity requested by the customer. This break bulk capacity promotes product availability for multiple customers and allows them to purchase needed quantities rather than excess volume that is not desired. Assortment involves the assembly of customer orders for multiple SKUs held in the distribution facility. As the figure highlights, the facility provides a product mixing capability, allowing customers to quickly order a variety of items from a single location. This avoids the expenses related to placing numerous orders and having them shipped from a variety of locations. Just as companies benefit from the assortment function, individuals gain from the assortment product mixing concept when shopping for food. Rather than traveling to the butcher shop, bakery, dairy store, and product market, we make a single trip to the grocery store, saving us time and transportation costs. Given the congestion, capacity, and fuel costs faced by industry today, this product mixing role is a key distribution facility capability. Let's consider distribution facility functionality in terms of value-adding roles. Distribution operations are taking on value-added roles such as assembly, kitting, product postponement, sequencing, etc. to complement their basic functionality and to support evolving supply chain needs. Let's take a look at some of the key distribution trade-offs and challenges. Organizations may benefit substantially from the establishment of one or several warehouses to reduce transportation costs. However, there comes a point where you build too many warehouses and total costs increase. Another key trade-off must be made between distribution and inventory. Generally, the more DCs and warehouses, in other words, the more distribution centers and warehouses, the higher the total inventory carrying costs will be. A common fulfillment strategy of many firms is to use the normal distribution network for most items and maintain one centralized facility for their low-velocity items. Supply chain professionals must determine how to best balance customer service and costs with an understanding of the trade-offs between distribution and other supply chain functions, as well as within distribution facilities. Let's look at some of the functional trade-offs. Determining the number of facilities needed for a supply chain involves the evaluation of cost trade-offs with other functional areas. Transportation costs. Consolidation of inbound freight into truckload quantities achieves lower transportation rates per hundredweight and reduced transportation costs. On the outbound side, increasing the number of warehouses brings the warehouses closer to the customer and market area, reducing both transportation distance and costs. Cost of lost sales. An increase in the number of facilities improves customer proximity and inventory availability. Warehousing costs. These costs increase because the total amount of space increases with a larger number of warehouses. And then last, inventory costs. As discussed earlier, an increased number of stocking points increases the overall safety stock levels and inventory carrying costs in the supply chain. The trade-off between distribution operations and customer service is another important point. The primary trade-off and relationships include the following: space versus equipment. The larger the facility and the more space used for distribution operations, the more equipment will be needed in the facility. Equipment versus people. The greater the use of equipment to automate materials handling and distribution activity, the lower the labor requirements of a facility. People versus space. The larger the facility workforce, the larger the facility size and operation possible. In terms of other key distribution challenges, specifically labor availability issues, chief among challenges are labor availability issues, demand variation, and increasing customer requirements. In most organizations, distribution is a people-intensive activity. It is growing increasingly difficult to find and train high-quality personnel for DC operations. Demand variation is another supply chain challenge that affects distribution operations. These trends place a great deal of pressure on distribution centers to maximize speed and service while keeping costs under control.